it seems that the players are now on their way.
Alright, so it looks like it's pretty even. Only 5-second difference separating them for the stream delay.
But over in Cat Kingdom, as you can see, Mario has lost his hat. But it is not entirely lost. That little ghost dude who looks like a top hat has it, and has part of it. Destroyed by Bowser's ship, which is very unfortunate. Chasing that little ghost dude. That way, his name is Cappy. You can throw him, you can do a lot of things like that. All things to come up.
One thing that makes this game much friendlier to speedrun is that all the cutscenes are skippable, which helps a lot because there's a lot of cutscenes in this game.
Oh yeah. Now Cappy can just be thrown, but also you can capture creatures and people with him. So now fraud.
And as we can see, Mr. Ike is using the two Joy-Con controllers, and I don't know if I pronounce this right, Bagajr Jr. is using the Pro Controller. It looks like Bagajr Jr. is going to the left.
Wow.
He saved, like, I would say about a second there, so that looked pretty interesting, actually. Oh, he missed the jump.
It's a very fun copper fight, which if you blink, you'll miss it. It goes by really quickly. Copper is already gone, and then we're gonna take that little thing. I don't even know what it's called. I don't know the name, so I don't exactly know what it's called. But we are going into the opening here. Name of the game, duh. As most games always do, and then we're going to be heading into the very first and last special things of the game, also known as moves. But I call them bananas because it's funny.
Banana's a good name for them.
Definitely, because that's what they look like, especially the multi-moves. They look like a bunch of bananas.
Exactly.
One of the first characters in the game is from that frog, and as you saw, that is how the chainsaw works. You just pull it back and let go. And it'll destroy things for you, or just do what it needs to do, so that way you can complete. As you can see, that was our first banana.
So both runners here are not, they're supposed to go and activate the Odyssey and realize that they only have one moon, but you can just skip over it and go straight to the next moons.
So now we get to do the T-Rex skip, which is pretty freaking cool jump.
And it looks like Bagajr Jr. is in the lead. That looks like a very fast way to grab the chain chunk, jumping onto it, and then having Cappy do the rest. Alright, so they still need 5 moons, so they're gonna go out of their way to grab 1 more moon. This is probably the fastest one that you can grab from the Odyssey, and then they're gonna head back and move to the Sand Kingdom. So Cascade, looks like Baga Jr. is in the lead. So now, every crossing of the world is just a bunch of mashing and skipping cutscenes. So this is probably the boring part of the run. I think you do this either 7 or 8 times. But it's pretty much just Cappy giving you tips on how to play the game, even though we know how to already. So now I'm pretty sure they're going to attempt to grab the moon that's inside the tower and then grab the bird. It's a pretty tight cycle, but it's most of the time it's makeable. Oh, they both bonked at the same point. I think they could still grab the bird though. Alright, so Mr. Ike grabs the bird, and Baga Jr. goes inside the pipe, and he's going to grab the bird afterwards. Oh, never mind. It looks like he's not getting the bird. I'm guessing he might be going for a Sphinx clip.
I don't know if this is a good time, but I'm joining commentary now. Got a little
Alright, cool.
commentary joined, so yeah, don't want to leave you alone. It's pretty hard to do that.
Right.
So, looks like we're in Sand Kingdom, just trying to... Alright, cool. Looks like runners are pretty close together here.
Mr. Ike having a little bit of trouble trying to get up.
Yeah, it's got that Mario ice physics where it's a little bit slippery, so...
Yeah.
And... So runners are about a moon off right now, so I think one of them probably got the bird and the other one didn't. That's what I'd assume.
Yeah, Mr. Ike grabbed the bird and Baga didn't.
We'll probably go for Sphinx here or get the bird later. He's doing.
It looks like he's going for it. Oh, never mind.
Going for Sphinx. Safe choice, as gonna get a lot of coins here, so we can buy some moons later in the run, which reduces the need for micromanaging coins, trying to pick them up in boss fights and whatnot. So, choice. I think counts are about even, so I think Baja will get the bird in the Oasis, and then Mr. Ike will get taking notes instead. So runners are actually pretty even right now, even though it looks like Mr. Ike's ahead by a few seconds. Really synchronized here collecting these moons, but up here could see some separation. Got a pretty hard trick coming up. Gonna try and get out of this bullet bill pretty close to the wall and do a precise wall jump. Looks like Mr. Ike's got it. We'll see if Baja can do the same. Well executed from both runners there. Set the trick. Got the purple poison waters below. It's an instant death. So you'll
it's a very risky trick to go for because you'll get sent to the last checkpoint, which usually is not close to the point where you just died.
See them both become Cactus Mario for a second here, and then both runners have 2 moons left, but Mr. Ike did get the bird earlier, as JJ said, so won't be waiting for him right here. He won't be able to collect it, I should say. Jump up there, reach that bird. Go back for that moon. Well, Mr. Ike's going to go for taking notes, so this might put the runners very close to even here. He's now in the end, or in the lead, I should say, not the end. He's now in the lead by a few seconds due to not going for bird early, so. Pretty close race, like 5 seconds separating these runners.
There's not going to be very much separating the routes since it's pretty much the same after every world. You can't really get more in one world than the other because it's just going to be, you have to get in a certain amount in that world.
Yeah, definitely, because 80 moons and then unlock this world like it is for Dark and Darker Side. It's more you have to get enough in each kingdom to progress. So
yeah. So it'll be very easy to tell who's in the lead by whoever gets to the Odyssey first, pretty much. So now they're heading to Lake, which is one of the shorter worlds in the run.
They're only requiring 8 moons here, so we'll make quick work of this, and we're actually going to opt to go for a boss fight here, instead of in other kingdoms where we usually don't. Taking a bonk there for Baja is going to bring the gap between these runners even closer together. Almost synchronized moon pickup there. And now we're going to capture Cheep Cheep. Mr. Ike having a little bit of difficulty there, but Cheep Cheeps are the fastest way to move around in the water, so we're going to be using it for the rest of this underwater section before we move on to the boss fight.
I'm very sure that both runners are going to go for, I don't know what the skip is called, but I guess you'll just see when it happens. They're probably going to both go for it since they both have 110s, which are very good times.
Probably, I call like Cheep Cheep jump, or I don't know. It's like a little bit of a sequence skip, so it's not too bad, but saves a bit of time there. Precise wall jumps. Both runners nailing it. Baja a little bit smoother than Mr. Ike, so he's going to be farther ahead. Really close race still. Yeah. From both players, just getting those well-timed backflips to cancel the attack cycle and cancel his cycle, just leaving him standing still. And otherwise would be casually a very moving around boss. So well done, and they're really synchronized here. It's in the same moon cutscene. Usually don't see that happening in races, but before the race is over, so we'll definitely see.
So it looks like Mr. Ike saved a little bit of time on Baja in this world, probably about 2 or 3 seconds to close the gap even more. For most of the world, it's probably the same route, so it's all about like optimization.
Yeah, and you won't see that too much here. Both runners having 110s, you'll see a lot of the same movement, but especially with newer runners and runners with not as good times. You'll see like just different movement to and from each moon. Definitely separates like opting to go for backflips instead of ground pound jumps or triple jumps, stuff like that. It'll definitely separate some runners just in how fluid they are with their movement.
Yeah.
That's immediately going to put Mr. Ike in the lead. This is here.
Just proving how close the two runners were. Just a simple bonk caused a lead change.
So they're both going to pick up this rock here. I didn't know this when I casually played. I didn't know you could pick up the rocks. I just kind of smashed it against the wall 15, 20 times before it broke. But you can actually grab them. I guess Cappy's somewhere else. And then if you just run it into another rock, it'll break it instantly. So that definitely is an easier way to do it than slamming it against the wall.
Yeah.
Both buying the shot moon here. And Mr. Ike with 29 coins and Baja's with 73. So both have to be a little bit worried about getting those extra coins, but Baja's going to be a lot less worried than Mr. Ike.
Mr. Ike having a little bit of trouble opening it up, but still maintaining his lead.
Backflips there. I've seen some runners do that, and I think it's faster to get off the ground. Faster, but you will move backwards. Good movement change there. Baja going up the side of the cliff. Don't see many runners doing that. Different.
Alright, let's see if both of them get to fast sewer. Oh, Mr. Ike getting damaged at the very start.
Put him not in the lead anymore. We'll see if Baja can get fast sewers though. One of the hardest rooms in the game, just of getting that optimal movement. Really precise jump. Ooh, goes a little bit too early. But he's going to use that damage invincibility to save it. Really well done. Seconds in the lead. 5 frames to just jump through those fuzzies without a care is a really nice backup strat for missing the damage list.
Very nice climb section from Baja.
That was really smooth.
And Mr. Ike right behind him.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool for the Koopa freerunning in this game, like to have ghosts, like they do in like Mario Kart. More time.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
The races too, like if they could somehow find a way to integrate that, I feel like that'd be awesome just to like see your opponent climbing up right behind you.
Yeah.
Flowing Koopa freerunning to see if you're ahead or behind at a certain point, because I grind that a lot, and it's frustrating to just kind of glance at the constantly changing timer and be like, oh, it looks like I'm a little bit ahead here. But
oh, well, Mr. Ike falling down, losing his lead again.
a lot of changing the lead here because a lot of minor mistakes from both runners. We haven't seen a major mistake yet. So
let's see if any of them goes for the flower path skip.
I don't know why you would do it in a race. I don't see why. And as I say that, Bob's gonna go.
Oh, and he misses it, but he recovers.
I just decision personally, just like it's a race, and that's gonna save what 1 or 2 seconds, and when it's this close,
yeah, he tried to gain that extra lead.
It's not like he's really going for a PB here. He's setting up the triple jump. There you go. He's got that, Dan. If you're not going for a PB, and you know it's a close race, and if you mess it up, you'll lose a lot of time. Especially since it's like a hard trick.
Oh, Mr. Ike bonking, trying to get up there.
So Baja's got 10-ish seconds, like 5 or 6 here, just to gain back from missing that skip. Was aiming for that triple jump to be started on the ledge, but it just looks like he went a little bit too far forward and jumped right over it. But really nice times coming out from both runners here. other than that one major mistake. He was able to save it, actually, so. Still some really nice times.
Baja getting hit.
It's not too bad. Taking that hit there, but I mean, again, just some minor mistakes.
One of the easier boss fights compared to the others, in my opinion.
Just sort of stand right in front of him and then jump when he starts to move. Really predictable. And with that, we're going to be finishing up Wooded here. Nicely done from both runners, other than, yeah, some there. Everything's going pretty solid. So we're good.
I was just gonna say, now we're gonna head into Cloud Kingdom, which for top runners is more or less an all-scroller. You usually get the same time almost all the time.
Yeah, we'll see if either of these runners will go for the new fast hat strats with the damage and grabbing it right when they spawn, but going for that unless you got 108, 107, so we'll see. Basically gonna steal Bowser's hat because he's throwing it at us like an idiot. As I said, Baja there with those fast hat strats capturing it. So seeing him doing that first one, well, it's gonna make me think he'll go for it for cycles 2 and 3 here.
I don't think he's going for this one.
No, he's not. Yeah, same sort of principle as gonna take damage to get a backflip, but unfortunately not gonna see it. It's a pretty advanced strategy.
Oh, and I think I missed it, but I believe Mr. Ike was either too close or too far away from Bowser, so he jumped away.
Oh, is that why they're so close now? I was looking at Baja's screen, yeah.
Yeah.
They're about a few seconds. Yeah. You don't capture that hat close enough to Bowser, he will jump away, and so we aim to skip that sort of phase. Mr. Ike didn't do that, I guess. Couldn't exactly see
Mr.
that.
Ike's still barely in the lead.
Yeah, we're talking seconds of a lead here, so crazy. Crazy.
Lost Kingdom, probably one of the harder worlds in my opinion, just because of these trees.
I agree. We might see some runners separate here. Ooh, Mr. Ike really close on that jump. Yeah. So, might be wondering why we're taking such an unorthodox, like, not intended route through this kingdom, and there's a reason for it. We'll see in a few seconds here. There's a big bird in this kingdom, and really like in the community here, like to affectionately call him Klepto. He's a meanie, so he's gonna steal our hat if we walk where he can see us. So we're gonna avoid that trigger entirely and then trigger his attack phase. And for some reason, if his attack phase is triggered the initial phase where he steals our hat, he'll think we have our hat already because I think we could skip the first phase, which we shouldn't be able to. Yeah, we could just walk freely and disable that hat grabbing phase entirely. So really nice skip found about him. 80% of the way through with Lost Kingdom here. Just work of this kingdom. One of the fastest in terms of moons collected to Geo. Just everything kind of lines up perfectly.
I think Mr. Ike is gonna make it out, and he does.
Yeah, that was a really nice getting out of that bridge. Baja's gonna take the intentional death a little bit faster to there, if you can, but it requires saving your hat, which is harder than it looks, definitely. That we're gonna be moving on to Metro Kingdom after our little Lost Cloud detour. Out here in rainy Metro, dark Metro, night Metro, whatever you want to call it. But we're gonna have to do a long boss fight. Unfortunately, we can't collect 20 moons that we need. But we can't speed it up with some tricky sequence breaking jumps like the one
Baja falling down.
he said rip in chat. I feel like that might be why I was kind of confused. To death. He was on a pretty good pace too, only a few seconds behind, but that's definitely gonna increase the both runners.
Well, that may change in the interior section. Probably one of the hardest sections in this run. Oh, Baja falling again, hitting the wall.
Unfortunate. That's a tough one.
Mr. Ike struggling a little bit in the interior. He gets on the pole.
See if Baja can do it this time here. Another bonk. Let's see if he can get it here. Come on. To see someone struggle so hard with a couple jumps there, but Mr. Ike moving on to Mecha Brutal or Mecha Wiggler, not Mecha Brutal. I'm tired. Definitely a robot Wiggler here, and one of the harder bosses, in what most people's opinions at least. Everything is pretty precise, and there's a little bit of RNG with the movement, but especially just with the tank's motion controls and then the finickiness of everything. But making that city climb as Mr. Ike's gonna try and two-cycle this Mecha Wiggler here. We'll see if he can do it.
Oh, he missed a few. Let's see if we can grab him.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, he barely missed it.
Looks like the shot happened right as the invincibility was coming up, so that's going to give Baja a little bit of time to catch up here. 25, 30-second mistake. Unfortunate. See that, but very hard boss fight, so definitely he's got that just presence. Well, he should be easily able to knock this third bullet down, or last, and there it is. Now, if Baja can get the 2-cycle, well, it'll make for enough time save, so hopefully he'll be able to do that. see, taking that hit. Looks like he's made quick work of that back. Just one more shot. Nicely done.
Nice 2 cycle.
Just a perfect mech fight there, so. Now, moving on to Daytime Metro. Mr. X already there. He's going to be doing the RC car moon. A lot harder than it looks. Ooh, he nails that. First try. Side flip up. Cool strat there. Metro's actually, or Daytime Metro is actually considerably fast. Metro is just a pretty slow split due to 3 moons in about 3 minutes. From 4 moons, 5 minutes. Yeah, the 3 from the boss, the 1 in the Lost and Found, and then a girder sandwich. So 5 moons in like 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes before nighttime is. But we'll see if Baja can get this car first try.
He does. People have like all made up their own way to do the RC car, like whatever is pretty much easiest for them.
And there's actually been a new strat found, which didn't mention it as I didn't expect any of the runners here to go for it, but I'll finish that down a little bit. Mr. Ike just missing that garbage moon, so we'll see. He's gonna have to use the electricity wire to get back up here, losing a bit of time, but there's a new strat that's been found that actually skips the RC car entirely. You can use a motor scooter to clip into the moon and saves about 6 seconds because you say skip the mission of possessing the guy, and then you skip the moving around of the RC car itself. But clip, so. Pound first try, Mr. Egg. Pretty blind ground pound. Just hope you can nail it. Not a lot of visual cues. Maybe you get closer to the ground, but gonna be playing Sonic here for a bit, rolling through the crowd, monkey ball, whatever you want to call it. But Baz around 35 seconds behind due to him dying twice. Nails that ground pound as well. Using some cafe floor that only render in when you get close, so that's why you'll see them ground pound late. But sure, I talked to Pauline. She wants us to find 4 musicians, and you know, being the nice Italian plumber that we are, we're gonna find 2 of them for her. Work herself. So we're gonna find the drummer. We're gonna find Mr. Otep. But everyone calls him Mr. Otep because they're from Baja Stream, but he says Otep when we talk to him, and that's become a joke in the Super Mario Odyssey speedrunning community.
So Mr. Ike heading back to the Odyssey as he finishes up Metro, as Baja gains his final 2 moons.
In the scrap and OTEP. Grab. I think we'll see both runners. I think we'll see both runners move on to Seaside here. Need 100 coins to buy Moon and Snow Kingdom, and neither of them have those 100 coins, and so we're going to collect some in Seaside. Starting out Seaside here for Mr. Ike. Got a precise jump there, and then another precise jump here. Just going for that first Moon as Baja's just about to warp there. Shorter kingdoms here too. Couple moons here, not in the water, and then we'll collect a couple in the water, and that'll be it. Nice tricky jump there. A lot harder than it looks. There's a sense of 3D depth perception, and jumping at the wrong time lead to a bonk or some other unintended result.
And I believe that if you're too low on the wall in the back, you'll pretty much miss that entire wall jump. Because you have to be high enough to be able to actually register as a wall kick, surprisingly. Having learned that the hard way.
Yeah, so Mr. Ike capturing a gush in here, and these are the fastest movement method above water, and then immediately going down to capture a cheap method below water. So all about speed here and speed running. So we're going to be using the fastest ways to do things. And
so this is the main area where they would get their last set of coins. I believe there's about 40 in this spot.
Around 35 to 40 if you kind of move in a straight line the entire time, but more than enough if you've been managing your coins well. You should be able to get there. So Mr. Ike's got well over 100 at this point, so he's set for his Snow Kingdom purchase, and Baja's got 86. So with those moons in the shortcut, he'll have Strike going down in this hole for the last moon at Seaside, and then he's going to take a warp back to the Odyssey.
So both of them have well over 100, so they can both buy the final move that they need.
Really, really important to have those coins as the alternative backup in snow is either find enough coins on the way and buy it later, or do another slower moon, which 25 to 30 seconds. So definitely don't want to be caught in a situation without the right amount of coins. Luna, they're around 35 seconds apart. A rough estimation, somewhere between 30 and 40, but yeah, still a very close race. One death could easily bring Baja close in the lead, especially with Bowser's Kingdom and Luncheon Kingdom coming up. So Mr. Ike talking to Captain Toad here, and he's actually in every kingdom, but the only place where it's cool enough Toad is in the freezing cold Sand Kingdom. And it's in a blizzard, and so we're gonna enter this underground town, which is the main main part of the storyline for Snow Kingdom. This is one of the slowest kingdoms just in terms of moons that we need to collect in a certain amount of time. It's 10 moons in almost 6 minutes for some runners. That's just due to the fact that there's a race that we need to complete by opening up 4 rooms, and all the moons on the surface get unlocked as the blizzard stops. But before we do the race, there's only 13 moons that are available to collect. And so I'm not going to do the race as there's a ton of cutscene involved there. It's 3 minutes approximately for just a multi-moon. Worth it. And we're not required to do it, so there's no point in doing that. But moons to choose from, so that's like eliminating the 3 slowest ones, which still leaves a lot of considerably slow moons. Speaking of rooms, Mr. Egg, about to finish up the first one here. We're actually gonna fully complete 2 of them, collect a secret in the 3rd before moving on, and so Mr. Egg entering the Goomba room here as Baja's getting the secret in the 1st room. And there we go. Nice job keeping that Goomba alive. That lower Goomba there can sometimes run off the edge for some reason. Completely sure why it happens, as they're not coded anywhere to just run off edges, but sometimes. So ballsy long jump there, well done. Shoko Shuzuki. Not sure if I pronounced that right, but thanks for... And a little side note, actually, doesn't apply to the any % category, but there's another category called World Peace. All the story objectives in each kingdom, so would have to do the in Snow Kingdom. And there's actually a there. That's unfortunate, but clip that we can do here in the Snow Kingdom to access the loading zone for the race early, which lets us skip these 4 rooms and then just get the multi-moon from the race earlier than expected. But there's still just too much there to make it worth it.
Alright, so Mr. Ike finishing up Snow and heading to the Ruined Kingdom. Oh, Luncheon, sorry, I'm thinking really far ahead.
Don't worry about it, yeah. Luncheon Kingdom here. One of the longer kingdoms, and one of the kingdoms where... So, a lot of precise movement.
Starting off with a pretty difficult triple jumper backflip at the very beginning.
Backflip.
And he gets it.
To get that move, there's actually a fork that will spawn after this fight that lets you just flick up there, but We're gonna do it the unintended way. But yeah, Baja is just a little far behind here, probably close to a minute. Just from those deaths in snow and Lost Kingdom. Was lost. It might have been, no, it was wooded actually, messing up the and lost. Wooded Metro and snow, my bad. Taken 4 deaths throughout the run, which is just unfortunate. Join Ike here in luncheon. Looks like he's around minute 15 seconds behind here.
Later on, we'll see which route they will take. Let's see if they go into the lava room or the forks room. Baja also getting the unintended strat first try.
I'm there. Uma Strike taking a little bit of new movement there. That was well done. I still need to learn that. But
very clean.
Yeah, really nice there. A really nice run here from a couple mistakes early game. Checking his splits actually. Looks like he golded Snow Kingdom and he's actually his personal best by 31 seconds. So let's see. For the forks room here, and looks like he's not. Runner's choice between 2 different secret rooms that they can take, both at about the same speed, just personal preference with motion controls and whatnot. But gonna bonk there for Mr. Ike. Another unfortunate bonk. Charm, and looks like it is. Lun. Few moons behind here, but still just a minute ish.
Pretty sure it's random on where the hammers go, so sometimes you'll get the first try, or it will take a while for you to hit the one with the switch.
Yeah, but that there was a really nice, I think is what they're called, but nicely done there from Dakes, except for that bonk, I guess I should say. And he's going to be moving on to the meat. Do the Podoboo room here. We'll see if Baja will take forks or not.
Oh, looks like they're both not going for it.
I like to see that room.
When it's done fast, it actually looks really nice.
We're taking a bonk at the same spot as Mr. Ike did there. They're one at the top, but
that was a very clean lava bubble room from Mr. Ike, especially with the ending.
yeah, definitely. Well done. And just got to get the moon on the side of the cliff. and then I'll be getting the meat. Some nice movement here. That did not come out well, but
well, Mr. Egg falling down, losing a couple of seconds.
yeah, unfortunate, but still gonna be able to pick up that multi-moon, keeping his lead over Baja. Baja can have a clean Potable room here. Gonna go for that tricky dash jump here. Hopefully he makes it.
Oh, they're doing a damage boost.
Intentional damage boost taken there. I've seen a couple runners do that. Gonna make that climb up from the mountain here, and just the multi-moon to go as Mr. Ike's moving on to the Rune Kingdom. Very auto-scroller type boss. There's not too much of time difference, just like Cloud Kingdom.
I'm pretty sure that both runners will be going for a damage boost, which is they will jump on top of the dragon while he is still pretty much invulnerable, so you can start attacking him immediately.
Yeah, definitely see the runners going for that. Necessarily save time. It just guarantees that you'll be there when the keys, when you're able to damage the keys, but could still do it damageless and have the same result. Yeah, going for the damage boost there. It's got to be on the keys soon.
It also wants you to ground pound in the center of his head, but you pretty much ground pound anywhere on it, and you would be fine on the top of it.
Got 2 hearts, so he's gonna have to be careful of the electrical wires here, but he can still take 1 more hit before death.
Looks like he got it.
Nicely done. And Baja's just about to start as Mr. Ike finishes up. Yeah, Baja also taking that damage.
I believe if Mr. Ike has a very good Bowser Kingdom, then he might be on 109 pace.
Yeah, it could definitely be.
very clean dragon fight from Baja.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just Mr. Ike, nice scaling that wall there. That was very close.
So going along normally, you get 6 moons, and you have to get 8 to be able to travel to the moon. So you need to find 2, and there's different routes you can use to find which moons do you want. But
Yep. Very linear kingdom. A couple minutes of movement, a couple minutes of boss fights, a couple minutes of movement, a couple minutes of a boss fight. So I really like the layout. It's pretty linear. Kind of progresses you, but we're taking that bonk and the damage. That's again minor mistakes. Not gonna. He does not want to die here, but erase. That might have ruined the 109 pace. Sorry about that. Don't get hit. Oh.
oh, he just got hit barely. He thought it was safe.
It's unfortunate. I think the moon shards are still collected though. I think he's only gonna have to pick up that 5th one there. So
Baja doing a very interesting moon route where he holds his cap out so he can re-grab into the poke or whatever it's called.
oh yeah, definitely newer strat there, but you know it's gonna save just a couple seconds. Off of the glory hole. Hashtag commentator's curse, yeah. I thought he was gonna get hit and then just immediately afterwards, unfortunately. But yeah, so one story sequence ahead, I guess. He's gonna go for the small moon here.
Oh, and he bonks. That was a very long fall down.
Not having the best of Bowser's Kingdoms here. That's unfortunate.
Luckily, he spawns right there.
Try. Nice. This time it's in a safe spot to take the bonk. I think he's most definitely not on 109 pace anymore, but
Yeah, sadly. Baja, on the other hand, having a very clean Bowser's Kingdom.
definitely bringing it back, so still a very close race. Makes just a couple more mistakes, you know, could switch the lead. I can get this moon first try. Nicely done. And on the other hand, second.
It really doesn't matter if you go left or right on the bosses, pretty much all preference. Yeah, Mr. Ike not having a very good Bowser's Kingdom. See if he can still survive through this. And he does. He does kill both bosses. So now we can start the final ascent into fighting all four in the Mecha Brutal. If I am correct on what it's called. Oh, about how missing the hat hit. Now he's just gonna have to find out which one it was. Alright, he found it.
I'm gonna die here. Nicely done, didn't die. Mr. Ike making that climb. Tough dive. He's got it. Get in between him and Moon Kingdom now. Main section here is little did most people know is you can shake with the Pokio and it'll launch really high in the air, but as I say that again, Conde is cursed. I think it just the caps are there for some reason.
Let's see if Mr. Ike goes for captureless.
I think we'll see it, yeah. Definitely seeing it here.
Oh, he falls down.
So he's gonna opt to go for bird here. So losing a little bit of time. But we'll be able to use that to catch up. More importantly, we'll see if he can stay on between cycles here. That's a major time loss. It's gonna be able to get back on using the bird here. That second ground pair. He's got to get that ground pound on person number 2. I can get birdless here. Well done. So that's going to save time off Mr. Ike here. Let's raise here. Looks like he'll have enough height here. But that's more than enough. Mr. Ike getting that 3rd ground pound. Hardest one there, so looks like he's also going to have enough height to get back for the 4th cycle. Ground pound nailed it, so.
I would say it was a pretty above average Mecha Brutal. Not perfect, but still pretty good overall for a race. See if Baja gets full burgless.
Ooh.
Okay. Very clean Mecha Brutal though. Now it's like only a difference of like 20 seconds.
I'm gonna collect this multi-moon here at 104.11 and we'll see when Baja collects it, but yeah, 20 seconds just separating them. "15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, yeah, 21 seconds away. 21 seconds, so. Have to mess up on Moon Kingdom here. If he's got a good moon, then he'll be able to save it, but. We'll see. Yeah, Baja catching up a little bit. Deaths and Bazzers here that did not help whatsoever. Off 109 pace and off 110 pace, unfortunately. Off 110 pace just yet, I should say. You get a 110, but definitely possible. Baja's off 110 pace. But Baja still got this in him. Could still win Kingdom. But I wonder if he'll go for the hat strats. We saw him go for one of them in Cloud Kingdom. So I don't think he'll go for them here, but time save over Mr. Ike if he does.
We'll have to find out how both moon skips go.
But yeah, I completely forgot about missing moonskip. Don't see that too much from high runners, but it is still a precise wall jump.
It's still possible to miss it, even though there has been multiple consistent setups now to get it. Oh, Mr. Ike bonking.
I'm gonna go for a roll skip, just like not getting not long jumping, using the boost from the roll shake. Wasn't able to get it, so that's 2 seconds, but that's gonna bring down Baja's time. He's gonna need to catch up from 20 to 18, so Mr. Ike can get this first try. A little bit of setup. Oh, looks like he's got it. Well done. Baja took a little bit of damage there, so might have actually evened out that time save that he would have had.
Looked like he had a lot of power from that flower. He went all the way around the corner.
He actually picked up 2 flowers.
Wow. Both of them getting moonskip first try.
Yeah, so Mr. Ike, if he has a clean bagajr fight, it's only him in the escape sequence away from a win in this race. Gotta have some clean execution here. Grabs that hat. He doesn't have Cappy there with him. I think he thought he had that, so definitely gonna lose some time there. Baja's gonna be able to catch up. This is actually now a very close race here.
Save probably about 10 seconds there for Baja.
Yeah. Punched him dead at 11. And we'll see when Baja's able to do it. So 15-ish seconds separating these runners now. Perfect cycle there. In 20 seconds separating, so
Mr. Ike not having the best RNG, but dead center though. Oh, Bowser jumps away.
He's too far. That's gonna waste a few seconds. 15. He'd have to mess up on this cycle here. Or angle for that.
Oh,
unless he misses one of these jumps.
For a second, I thought he jumped too early. All right. Very close now, jeez.
He's done with that at exactly 109. Gonna look like 109.12, so it's here.
13 seconds separating them. Going into escape, anything could happen.
Fireball's in the right place, missing a triple jump here. And even infamous 2D shortcut.
Oh, Baja pausing too early, wasting a second.
Definitely gonna matter when it's this close.
Yeah.
Mr. Ike, is he gonna be able to?
Will he go for 2D skip?
Oh, there's no way. If he goes for it, he's the ballsiest person to ever walk this earth, let me tell you. I'm going for it in a situation like him. Yeah, he's getting rid of that block.
He's getting rid of it.
If I'm Baja, I'm going for it, though. If I don't have practice with it, you gotta go for it. You're 12, 13 seconds behind. And, I mean, unless you're...
Oh, he was thinking about going for it, but he hit the wrong block. Like, he stopped.
Wanted that, too. That's unfortunate. Don't think I would have given him the win. But
I still had a very optimal 2D section either way.
Gonna nail these fireballs down. Just any time save that he needs here. They have to take a big mess up here for Mr. Ike to give him the win, but it is still possible. fireballs, but it looks like he's nailed most of those, so a really close race here. Earned red there for Mr. Ike, so unfortunately missing that 109 and 110 pace, just choking in Bowser's. These last couple pillars, they're 1.5 pillars apart here in the end of this race. That's crazy.
Very close race.
Looks like Ike's gonna be able to finish it up here. Not much you can screw up now. Yeah, insane, so missing that jump. Not gonna matter too much though. This race.
Still very good comeback from Baja either way, saving about, I would say, 45 seconds just in Bowser Kingdom.
Finishing with 111.34 and Baja with 111.46. There, yeah. And looking at Mr. Ike's splits, and I'll ask him about this in the post race, but he was minus 44 seconds. Plus 28. So, if either of you two wanna hop in the voice chat that we're in, I think it's called Speed Gaming 4. Yeah, if you guys want to hop in for a little post race chat whenever you guys want.
It's weird to think if, like, one death in Metro Kingdom that Baja didn't have, that would have completely changed the entire run.
Totally. Not going for that bridge skip in Wooded might have brought it into the lead in his favor. Just crazy to think about that. Crazy, crazy, crazy. For a quick post-race chat. Looks like they're both joining. All right, so
hello.
Start with Mr. Ike first. What do you think about the run?
I'm a little sad. I kind of threw the PB at Bowser's, and I almost threw the win at Bowser's, but
yeah.
Still a nice run overall. Just that horrible ensemble of failures that just happened all throughout with it. The 2 deaths, the little the Pokio mishap at the end, and then I had to revert to Pokio fast strats on mech. But otherwise, pretty nice run. I didn't like the New Donk City. That was a little slow, especially with the 3-cycle Wiggler. But other than that, very nice run.
So, did still manage to sneak out that win by 12 seconds. And Baja, same question to you. What do you think about the run?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good.
Well, I'm not upset that I lost. I'm upset that I lost because I fell like that several times. But yeah, it was like a really close race. But I just made a bunch of stupid mistakes. But then he made a bunch of stupid mistakes, so it kind of ended up being close again. So, and it's funny how that worked out.
2 people with very close PBs, so you knew that the race was going to be close.
Yeah.
Going into Metro before your 2 unfortunate falls, it was.
Yeah, I have no
going
idea
back
what
and
happened.
forth.
And then in snow and the Goombas, I just walked off the ledge like for no reason.
That was definitely unfortunate there too, but
One question I have for you, Baha. What was like going through your mind? Like, you killed the piranha plant, you got the nut, and you go back. Like, going through your mind, do I go for the flower pass skip or not?
I regret nothing. I'm okay that I lost 10 seconds there. Like, yeah.
There's a good attitude to it. I regret nothing. Yeah, just definitely a hard trick. Gotta get that triple jump just lined up perfectly on the railing and a little bit too far forward there, but you were able to save it. And
Yeah, you did have a very good backup. Instead of falling down, you were able to just grab back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of regret personally not going for 2D skip at the end. Like I played everything so safe at the end because I saw PB was dead, so like I don't know, I couldn't make myself do 2D skip. Even though I think I'm pretty good at it, I'd fail it very rarely. So I don't know why I decided not to go for it, but I kind of feel bad about not doing it.
yeah, well, I don't know if you were watching the race or whatnot, but playing it safe at the end, just trying to secure the win. No shame in not, but yeah.
One thing I saw at the very end from Baja, I don't, from my perspective, I don't know if you were thinking about this or not, but I saw you, I think you were going for 2D skip, but you hit the top one by accident because you just like stopped still.
I actually wasn't going for it at all. Like,
Oh, you weren't going to?
yeah.
Alright.
I just figured the only way I was gonna win is if he made a mistake, so might as well just play safe. So
Yeah, 2D skip, I didn't think 2D skip would save enough time, but it was still very close to race overall between both of you. Good job.
Really close, just especially in the mid game, just seeing the lead go back and forth from like one bonk here and there, and then a couple deaths in Metro, and then the one in Snow, but able to bring it back really close at the end with Bazers. So both of you, and unless you guys have any questions for us or for each other, then I think that'll just about wrap it up.
I think that's it.
Awesome.
Oh, and oh wait, hold on. Oh, I noticed on my splits. Yeah, according to my splits, before Bowser's, I was almost on sub 110 pace, which just makes me even more sad that it just had all that stuff happen in Bowser's, but it happens.
Yeah, definitely took a few runs here and there, but still got the race win, and I'm not sure what the bracket looks like for you guys. Actually gonna pull that up here.
I think I got first seed and I got second.
Junior, yeah. So, Ike, you now have 2 wins, and you have to do one more race against Minato Purge. I'm not sure if you did that already or not.
Yeah, I
he
already
did that
did
yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, you did that yesterday. All right. Did you win that? I guess.
Yeah. It must I don't know if it like updated in the whole
probably
thing yet.
With challenge yet, but yeah, with that, Mr. Ike, you do have the number 1 seed in your group, and I think the seeding is gonna next couple days for the bracket, and then by number 2 seed in your group, so you're both moving on. Congratulations. This was basically a race between number 1 and number 2 here, just determining who would be which. So moving on, and with that, here, make sure you drop a follow on Baja and Mr. Ike. Definitely see they put on a great show for us with an awesome race and some really nice times coming out. Both top 100 times, even though they had a few mistakes. They're putting that in chat, thank you. And then if you want, you can follow the commentators. I do Odyssey sometimes, so I'm not sure. JJ, yeah, putting that in chat as well. But and if you're here, I'm assuming you're already following Speed Gaming, but already they put in a ton of work behind the scenes that we as commentators don't even see. Just making sure that we have commentators ready, making sure the restreams are set up, streams are cropped, audio's checked, races are synced, restream is synced, and I'm probably missing from the back end, but everything works, and they do it all on 4 channels all at once. So huge props to them. Drop a follow if you're not already. And anything else, say it now, but I think that'll be it for us.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Make sure to watch some more Odyssey in the next couple of days. Bracket stage will be starting January 1st, so make sure to check that out. We'll see you guys in the next race.